nice, clean double fault. She kind of slowed down a little bit, which is also another requirement in the 4 exercise routine. You have to show a change in pace. Now, here's where she gets really tired. This is the end of the routine. They got to crank that last pass out. They get their composure, take a few breaths, and here she goes. Oh, beautiful double tuck at the end of the set is so difficult.
An incredibly nicely done routine by Caroline Heck, 13 years old, from the Rebounders Gymnastics.
She'd be really happy about that, because I know in the preliminary round she had a bit of difficulty on the double tuck at the end. And there's a big hug from the coach, Sherry Huppenthal, who's done a great job with these kids. She's been at the club for about 8 years now, and they've always been in the top 8 at the USAIGC Nationals for the past 3 to 4 years.
Caroline said that pasta and lobster are her favorite food, so I guess she did plenty of carbo loading for this.
Well, you can never tell.
Yeah.
All right, here she goes. See which pass this is. This is a round-off back handspring. She sets up. This is her last pass, a double tuck. She pulls those legs. You notice the legs are apart a little bit, but the reason they do that is to make themselves smaller into the tuck position so they can rotate faster.
The score, a wonderful 9.65 for the Rebounders. What a way for them to start.
Look at that. She's real happy. She's
she sure is.
Surprised, I think. Maybe it's the highest score she's ever gotten.
We'll be back in just a moment with more competition from the 1991 USAIGC National Gymnastics Championship.
New from Kit Parker Films.
U.S. sport, and now you're going to get it.
It's Wrestling Gold 2. More wrestling superstars. More heart-stopping video cassette excitement. More Wrestling Gold. We're talking non-stop pile-driving action with Bruiser Brody, King Kong Bundy, Wildfire Tommy Rich, Andre the Giant, Cowboy Bob Ellis, and Randy Macho Man Savage. Yes, they're all jam-packed into this video who's who of wrestling, culled from over 600 hours of rare vintage wrestling footage. But there's much more. Order now, and it's over the top ropes to the concrete floor with a second slamsational volume. Your ringside seat for Jerry Lawler, The Sheik, Austin Idol, Bobby Heenan, Nick Bockwinkel, and ravishing Rick Rude. But there's still more. Go head first to the buckle with the long-lost Hulk Hogan footage, highlighted by the legendary Terry the Hulk Boulder, Andre the Giant arm wrestling confrontation. There's never been anything like it before or since. How about a vicious shark cage match, or the only surviving footage of the infamous wrestling bear? It's all here in action so vivid, you'll beg for the bell. Not sold in any store. You get 2 uncensored videos, never before available, for just $29.95 complete. Satisfaction guaranteed. It's Wrestling Gold 2. Call our 24-hour hotline now.
To order your 2-volume set by credit card, call 1-800-952-3300 or send $29.95 plus $4.50 shipping and handling to Wrestling Gold 2, P.O. Box 10020, Stamford, Connecticut 06904. That's Wrestling Gold 2, P.O. Box 10020, Stamford, Connecticut 06904. Specify VHS or Beta. Sorry, no CODs.
We'd like to welcome you back to the Greensboro Coliseum, and we're in the midst of the first rotation of the USAIGC National Team Championships. Coming up now on the vaulting event, the first time we've seen the Cherry Hill Gymnastics program in action. And this is Carrie Monahan.
This is the girl I spoke about earlier in the top of the show. She's a real dynamic gymnast. I really enjoy watching her because you can really tell she loves the sport, and it comes out in her performances.
National elite gymnast for the last 2 years, so she's used to this kind of pressure and this kind of competition.
Yeah, she sure is. And it'll prove true here again. I tell you, the more competitions you get under your belt, the better you are because you can face more situations. You just have that confidence that you know. Okay, she's getting ready, and I believe the vault she's going to do.
That's right. There'll be flashing numbers at the end of the runway there. Hers happens to be a 491. It lets the judges know what she's planning to vault with. So what's this vault that we're going to be seeing?
It's a Yurchenko with the full twist. And, man.
Oh. What are the judges looking for? We know we've seen them very high. What are some of the other things that the judges should be looking for in a vault like that?
Well, most importantly, like you said earlier, height and distance, and then also form, no bent legs. Now, here we'll see her coming in, entering the horse backwards. She has to get her hands back to the horse quick. She pushes way up in the air, does the full. Notice the legs never come apart, and then to a nice landing, just one step back, which will just cost her 1/10. But I think that's up there with a 9.8 or a 9.7. Not quite as good as Dominique's, but if she would have stuck, it would have been, I think, the exact same score.
Here she prepares for her second vault. She's left the number the same, so we're going to see a full twisting Yurchenko. Ooh. Now, what happened there?
Well, maybe what happened is that her step was off a little bit. Just like in long jump at track and field, when they do this vault, it's real important that they're on the right foot, at the right point in the mat when they take the hurdle, because or else they might miss the board when they do the round off. Now, also what happened was that she touched the board, as you'll see. She comes up now. Right here, maybe she thinks she's a little too close to the board, so she just stops right away. It's really tough to say what was going through her mind. That vault is just such a touchy vault. It can spook you pretty easily. Now, also, what will happen is she will not be able to take another vault. When you touch the board, as soon as you touch the board, even if you do not go over, it counts as your vault.
But also remember that you only have to count the better of the two vaults, so she should be all right. The first vault was very good.
Absolutely. So they had just a fine performance from her. They have nothing to worry about. I think she's telling them right now what went through her mind and why she stopped. That's not really phasing her. And there's a score, 9.7.
9.70, so that still is good for them. That shouldn't have any negative impact on their team score, so that was very good.
Okay.
Next, we prepare over on the uneven bars. We were waiting to see Amy Meyerson, but she's already finished her exercise. Got a little anxious. I think jumped the gun, and the judges said, okay, go ahead and do it. So next, we're moving to the balance beam. And here we pick up a really sensational elite gymnast, one who's been on the scene for a long time.
And this is Beth Weimer from Sunshine Gymnastics. And a real seasoned competitor as well. In the preliminary competition, she really proved her experience and came through and had a real nice all-around score. I think she was in the top 5 or 6. And as you can see, she's 18 years old, so she's been in the sport quite a while. Believe it or not, 18 does sound young, but these kids probably start when they're 4, 5, 6 years old. And so she probably has a good 10 years in the sport already.
Oh, she's off right at the very first. That would be a half a point deduction for her, and now she has to move on knowing the best she could do would be a 9.5.
Correct. And that's really tough at the beginning of the routine to have that. It shakes up your confidence a little bit, so we'll see how she pulls it back together.
And she's a little taller than some of the other girls we've seen, like Dominique Dawes and Caroline Hexton. I think it makes it a little more difficult on an event like balance beam, although she does all the high-level difficulty.
Incredible. Just after falling in the mount, she just pulled off that tumbling series with no problem. Her experience is really coming through here. As you see, she's down on the beam. That's a requirement also in the routine. They have to go down onto the beam and do some skills. And there's a full turn, which is another requirement in the bouncing routine. She's preparing either for a dismount or another big skill. And that was a real difficult skill. That was a leap that was one of the most difficult leaps you can do. A straddle leap, switch straddle leap. Wow, what a great dismount and a really great routine. Unfortunately for the fall in the beginning, it will be her only real deduction. I didn't see any wobble, so I think she put in a real fine performance.
She's coached at Sunrise Gymnastics Academy by a Japanese coach. His name is Yusuke Hijioka. I think we have that right. The girl said
that real good.
You have to know how to pronounce his name if you want us to perform well. So to Beth, I hope we did that well. And another little tidbit, she said her future occupation, she wants to work for the FBI. So all the more reason we should do whatever she asks correctly. She waits her score.
Okay, here comes that leap I was talking about earlier. It's a switch leg leap. She'll kick up, and then she switches her legs and shows a full straddle up in the air. Comes back down on the beam. A really difficult skill. You got to remember that beam's only 4 inches wide. As you can see, she's probably a little disappointed thinking about that mount again. What happened? Replaying it in her mind so she can correct the error and not do it again. A 9-0, I think that's pretty good considering the fall. Real good score in the bounce.
A maximum of 9.5, so throughout the routine, she only lost 0.5 of a point. That's very good. So Beth Weimer sets up a 9.0 for Sunrise Academy. Now we move to Jonda Hammonds from Pantheon Gymnastics, 16-year-old. And
this is a really nice team, a real elegant team. This is the first year they've made it into the Final 8. They're out of California, and I think they've got a lot to offer. And you'll notice their dance is real elegant, real pretty. Here's her first pass. Now it's a front somersault through to a handspring front with a full twist. It's real unique. Most girls you see go backwards. She chose to go forwards on the first pass.
This club is coached by Jerry and Patty Walkabout in Sacramento, California, and it's nice to see a club coming way across the country and with all the time change and all the things of that sort and being able to perform so well.
That was a real nice, full, real clean, elegant. And there's a leap series, which is another requirement in the 4 exercise routine. They must show 3 leap elements in a row.
This is her favorite event. She said she loves to dance.
And you can tell. She does it very nicely. And she keeps the shoulders down all the time in her dance, which is a real great mark of a good ballerina as well. And here's her last tumbling pass. Whoa! Now that's a front somersault through to the stomach, and that's another real difficult skill, which they call it a D element, which is the most difficult element you can do. And then she finishes right on cue with the music. A real nice routine, nice and clean. It'll score well.
I wonder how that settles well, or if it settles well with the nose. It looks like you hit your face on that move. I'm not so sure that's a move that all of us would like to do. Jonda Hammonds, though, she seems pleased with that performance. And,
yeah, she was.
Again, for the Pantheons, I think they're looking for a solid performance. Wherever they place, they'll be happy. Their coaches said, we just want to make sure we do what we set out to do.
Right. Okay, I think this is our last tumbling pass. This is you see she's going forward. Front somersault, a handspring, and then she does another front tuck, 2, boom.
See, her face actually does hit the mat. Well,
that's why she doesn't turn her face to the side. It gets a bloody nose on that one. And a 9.6.
9.60 for Jonda. Wonderful performance. Again, putting a nice score on the board for the Pantheon Gymnastics.
Terrific. And it also can show what you can do when you do a nice, clean performance.
That's what it's all about. We'll be back right after this message for more outstanding performances from our national team championships.
In August, tennis isn't the only power game on HTS. Home Team Sports plays hardball all month long with 16 live and exclusive Orioles games. In August, if you're not watching HTS, you don't know what you're missing.
Wet and Wild Water Sports. Didn't even get wet.